Welcome everybody to a look at a new Arrow Video 4K release, and it is 1972's Don't Torture a Duckling. So this is directed by Lucio Fulci, who also did The Psychic, Massacre Time and The Black Cat. They're my three favourites from him that I've seen so far outside of this one. This is a Giallo film clocking in at 105 minutes long. Stars Florinda Balkan, who was also in Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion, as well as Barbara Boucher, who was in The Red Queen Kills Seven Times, another Giallo film, as well as Caliber 9 and Blood and Diamonds. Also stars Thomas Millian, who was in The Big Gun Down and Run Man Run. And finally, Irene Papas, who was in We Still Kill the Old Way and The Guns of Navarone. So, a reporter and a promiscuous young woman try to solve a series of child killings in a remote southern Italian town rife with superstition and distrust of outsiders. So, this manages to make for a thoroughly engrossing effort that helps set itself apart from other Giallo films from the time, with its plot focusing on child murder, which makes this really rather quite dark. But the pacing, character interactions, and the cinematography help keep things interesting, which ultimately balance it out from being a wholly downbeat affair, because obviously child murder is pretty much one of the most heinous crimes you could ever commit. And even though it's not fully depicting them, it is at the end of the day multiple of them being killed, and yeah, you do see their dead bodies at the end of the day. So it is obviously a really rather downbeat affair. That said, the cast is also really good. That sells this whole scenario really rather well. The setting is well used. It looks absolutely beautiful in areas, but it's also quite a juxtaposition between this, rural southern Italian town, but you've also got these massive infrastructure projects that are near it as well, with this massive motorway, with this huge bridge and such and such. So it's quite a juxtaposition between old Italy and the Italy that it was becoming in the early 70s. The score is well done, and the finale is suitably tense, while it has some cheaply done but still effective practical effects at the end as well. So, yeah, really enjoy this film. It's a 4.5 out of 5, but when it comes to a film like this, I feel like the first watch is usually the best time that you see in it. Upon rewatches, I do find this a little bit less compelling, but still, you've got a new artwork by Elan Shady on this release, which looks absolutely superb. Really well done. Love the look of it. And yeah, we also have new artwork again on the sleeve as well. So you get two different kind of sleeve artworks there, which is really nicely done. I like the both of them, to be honest. And the secondary new artwork is followed through on the disc. No extra Blu-ray here. Obviously, this film has been released on Blu-ray in the past by our video. It was released in 2017, so it's long overdue, a bit of an upgrade. So I'm glad it finally has. We also have the original artwork on the reverse of the sleeve as well. And yeah, we also get a booklet with this, which again has really rather nice artwork. I actually really like that artwork. I'd love that as a poster, to be honest. It's really rather quite menacing. And then we also have a shot from the film. And inside the booklet, you get your cast and your crew. Then we get Lucio Fulci's Dark Dream by Barry Forshaw. So that is a write-up from 2017, so the original release of this. And so is In Sunshine and In Shadow, the film music of Riz Ortoliani by Howard Hughes. So that is also from 2017. And you get the presentation and produced credits as well. So yeah. So this has been exclusively remastered by Arrow Films and is presented in its original aspect ratio of 235:1 with original Italian and English mono audio. The original 35mm camera negative was scanned in 4K resolution at L'Immagine Ritrovata. The film was restored and graded in SDR, HDR10 and Dolby Vision at Dragon DI. And then the mono soundtracks were remastered from the original optical sound negatives at the Imagine Ritrovata with additional work by Borstein Gislason. Probably saying that wrong. But there are times, however, in which audio synchronization will appear slightly loose against the picture due to the fact that dialogue in both languages was recorded in post production. So that was a common thing in Italy in the 60s and 70s. It was mainly to provide a full one mono language throughout Italy, because there were lots of different dialects in Italy before the 60s, particularly before World War Two, and yeah, the whole Italian government was basically like, we need to make sure we have one Italian language, and one way of doing that was to make sure that, when it came to making films, they were dubbed after the fact. So yeah, it's an interesting little thing there. I read about that or heard about that on an extra on a film quite a while ago. But yeah, so we've got like I said, a brand new 4K restoration. It's from the original 2 perf Techniscope camera negative. So that's in 4K, 2160p, Ultra HD, Blu-ray to presentation, in Dolby Vision HDR10 compatible. And yeah, we've had the newly restored audio. We've also got optional English subtitles for the Italian soundtrack. Optional English subtitles for deaf and hard of hearing for the English soundtrack. Audio commentary by Troy Howarth, author of So Deadly, So Perverse. 50 years of Italian Giallo films. And then we've got Giallo alla Campana, a video discussion with Mikhail J. Koven, author of Le Dolce Morte, vernacular cinema and the Italian Giallo film. Hell is Already in Us, video essay by critic Kat Ellinger. Lucio Fulci remembers a rare 1988 audio interview with the filmmaker. Then we've got Who Killed Donald Duck, interview with actress Barbara Boucher. Then we've got Those Days with Lucio, interview with actress Florinda Balkan. Then the DP's Eye, interview with the cinematographer Sergio De Fasizi. And then we've got From the Cutting Table, interview with editor Bruno Micheli. And Endless Torture, interview with makeup artist Maurizio Trani, as well as theatrical trailer and all of the new artwork and booklet that I've already shown. So yeah, I do think there's more extras in this disc than there were on the Blu-ray, but I don't have it with me at the moment, so I can't compare like for like. But definitely sounds like there's more there than there was originally. But still, regardless, you do have the 4K presentation, you do have the really rather nice new artworks, and yeah, those elements alone are well worth this release. And yeah, but if you haven't seen this film, I do highly recommend it, especially as compared into other Giallo films. It's not quite classic as, say, Deep Red or The Cat of Nine Tails, or other Argento films, for instance. But as far as Lucio Fulci Giallo films go, I would say it's as good as he's done before. I'm pretty sure The Psychic was a Giallo film as well, and I'd say it's as good as that, even though I probably prefer that as far as rewatches go. But first watch of this was excellent. Just a shame that upon rewatches, especially for this 4K release, didn't find it quite as compelling as before, and that's purely because it's so memorable. The mystery element just loses its compelling element, because you know what's going to happen because it's so memorable, chiefly because of the way it ends. So yeah, that's a little bit of a shame. It's a case for other films like Get Out, for instance, which was absolutely sensational upon its first watch, but upon subsequent rewatches, it just loses that compelling element to the mystery, which does make rewatches slightly less enjoyable. But still, it's got plenty of other things going for it to make it worth the rewatch. But yeah, the mystery element does lose its way a little bit as far as keeping you engaged. Still, if you haven't seen it, I do highly recommend it, like I said. But if you have, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.